Hello, welcome to another installment of the Captain's Corner podcast. I am your host, as always, King Matty Harris. Here with me today, we have Luke Driscoll again. He's become a regular on this show, and for the first time, we have Jimmy Ralph joining us. How are we doing, boys?
Yeah, I'm feeling great tonight. How are you going, Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, just same old, same old. Keen to see how these podcasts are on, but no, I'm keen for a good chat with the boys.
I don't know. You can't be doing too good after that 24-12 loss to the Chookies.
Look, mate, we played our hearts out, but clearly you just have the better team. But look, I feel like it was pretty even in the first half, but we just couldn't tie the knot.
Oh, look, potato, potato. I may have some different thoughts on that game, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Um,
We'll get to that later.
Firstly, we should start with the Sharks versus the Warriors in the first ever SRL draw, going 22 all. Um, was an interesting game to say the least. Nahana Broughton Thompson had his best game of the season. After throwing a few Liam Ryan performances in there, um, it was a very good battle in the middle. I hate to say it, but Michael Crimp, he's got that post Origin hangover. He is struggling at the moment. What are your thoughts on that, Luke?
Yeah, you're right. And it was really interesting because I was going to say that was probably NBT's best game of the season by far. Um, I don't know what's going on with Crimp at the moment. I mean, there was a lot of actual. There's not a lot to speak about the game because it was a very close game to watch. Um,
I mean, you can't get closer than a draw, right?
no, that's right. Like it was very back and forth. So, um, like that was the highlight really with NBT's had a fantastic game. Um,
Very good on him.
Yeah, agreed. In the SRL scheme of things, I believe it was deemed a time clock error. Let's be real. Just
Really? Yeah, I heard it
what
was the SRL first.
Yeah, it was a first time
Interesting.
draw, and it came from, let's be real, Mr. Chance Bunce didn't realise they weren't allowed to take the two. So they got penalised for that and said, well, you're not going to get the two, you're going to get one each. That's what happened there. But
Chance had a great game too. I probably shouldn't undersell that because he actually played a fantastic game as well. Um,
of all players to get outshone by, you get outshone by MBT. Like, come on now, he's trash.
Surely not.
He's a good lad. He's a good lad. Just a shit player. We'll move on to the next game, which was it was a very good game, I must say. The Eels versus the Sea Eagles, Manly going over 36-26.
High scoring game, but
yeah, and I think I had the Eels. I think last week because I was like, ah, I think I tipped Eels 1-8. Did I not?
Something like that. I remember.
So.
I think I had Manly at 9-18 and decided to change it to Parramatta because I wanted Para to win to keep the Grubs or get the Grubs last, and that was a mistake because I could have had a tip right there. But yeah, anyways, in terms of the game, Bontoft is he might be a smoky for rookie of the season the way he's going now. And then Creed Alex Chapman, I can tell you right now, I was watching the game with the skipper himself, Kane. He was so happy, like watching his son go over for a hat trick, no less. It was beautiful to watch. Even I was watching, and I'm just like fucking good stuff because I like watching the old boys go over, as I've said previously. KCK though, he himself was kept so quiet. I was laughing at him. I'm like, if Almatangi was playing fullback, he probably would have made more breaks, which he did just for the Eels. Um,
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say that even Ollie Pace
it's
check it all.
Pacho.
Arche. Yeah, even he had a relatively quiet game at prop there.
I think
But it was
I think
interesting
he
'cause he
scored a
had
meat
that.
pie, didn't he?
I don't know, maybe. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
he didn't. No,
Um,
made
I,
2
I'm
errors.
I'm thinking of last game. Yep, my bad.
I was like, what are you talking about? um. Anyway, that was obviously, um, during that trade season, they had the 3 swap over between both of those teams. So it was always going to be an interesting match. Players returning to verse the team they'd just left. Um,
It was good to watch though. Like, yeah, I can't even call them two struggling clubs now because Manly's decided, hey, who cares if we have 9 or 10 rookies? Let's just keep winning anyway.
that's right. And well, look what the Eels done last week, and then even this week. Like that's what I mean. I'm like, there was a much closer game than it appears on the scoreboard.
Like,
Um,
no doubt they've gotten better offensively. But I have to say, in this game against Manly, their defensive woes reverted back to how they were earlier in the season. You still cop 6 tries, and you never want to cop that many. Even if you win a game, if you cop 6 tries, you're going to be pissed. If I win 37-36, I'm pissed off at our defense rather than happy with a win. Like, I'm still happy with the win, but I was like, oh, there's some work to do, you know?
Yeah, you want those low scoring tight games. Like, the possession's still pretty close. It's almost 50-50 throughout the whole thing. And
I'll cop a 1-0 if it means we kept them scoreless.
mm,
yeah, yeah.
but only 5 more missed tackles. 6 more line breaks for Manly. So it's not a large amount.
In terms of missed tackles, like the 20 to 25, that's kind of a normal number for the SRL. The line breaks kind of around the normal number too.
Yeah.
Errors seems about right. 8 to 9, couple of penalties in there too. Yeah, all in all, it was a fun game to watch. I know Kane was having fun watching his son go over that many times.
Yeah, as anyone would.
That's it. But yeah, we should probably move on from that one.
Easy feet.
That's it.
Yeah.
We got the Knights versus the Grubs. Grubs going over 24-18. That fucking hurt. that fucking hurt to say. It hurt to say. I have to say the Knights were their own worst enemies here. They had 10 errors. I do have to say the Knights looked a much better side when Coda Diab wasn't playing lock. John Nanai when he hit that like last 15 minute stint at lock, he was tearing it up. I think he scored a try in that last 15 minutes, and he looked the goods. Maybe start him at 13. Yeah, Coda Diab definitely not a top 5 prop, let alone a top 3. Lock. Definitely not a top 3 lock. Maybe not even the top 5 in my opinion. Fuck you, Will. But yeah, bloody
On the Knights, though, but that's them. Since they've started him, Knights forward momentum seems to be a lot better.
yeah,
Like having him on the field for the whole game.
100%. Like
but
Dustin
only
never
those
should have
opening rounds,
played
I think.
anything less than 80 at 11.
Yeah.
The only problem is they're just throwing too many errors. Like they get through the line, they make the breaks. Oh, let's throw an intercept. Let's fuck this up somehow. But another big like a key point in this game is Galaxy got injured. He was having a hell of a game too. He only played, I think, ended up playing 55 minutes and still got man of the match in the game stats at least.
65, yeah.
Yeah. How good's he going? Bloody Galaxy is he's a man on a mission. Could be a smoky for the hooker of the year, I reckon.
Oh,
Actually
mate.
close there because he, that handful of players that the Bunnies, when they work, they work. Galaxy being one, Jesse Bennett being one, obviously.
Aaron O'Hare.
Yeah. Like you could ring him off the top, you know who's doing the work. And if those players play well, the Bunnies win. If they play below standard, the Bunnies genuinely lose. So it's more about consistency with those players.
That's it. I'm happy when they lose though. much
You,
happier.
I know. Well, it's like I'm happy when Manly lose.
And I seen that little side eye there, Jimmy, when I mentioned Smokey for Hooker of the Year.
I mean, mate, like, after an incredible rookie year, like, maybe my ego is just too high, but I don't think it comes close to Tim James. Like,
I'm telling you
I've been
right
trying
now.
to keep my eye on him,
Hey,
see what I can do better,
I'm,
but, yeah.
I'm telling you right now. In terms of this season, you're fucking Tim James over
Yeah,
Yeah?
easily.
Tim
Your
James is
stats
good
just outweigh his easily. Uh, you can literally just look at Origin on its own. In the 3 games we played all up, Tim James played 2, you played 1. Tim James had 2 try assists and 8 errors.
Yeah,
You
but
had
also,
you had a try assist and no errors.
okay.
But
Yeah, it must be
here's the thing though: is
frustrating.
you played 1 game, he played 2. So,
Yeah.
so
Nah, since we versed him in that grand final, um, I've been sort of looking up to the bloke, you know, and I'm just like, what can I do better, you know? Because I've heard very good things about the bloke, and I'm like, look, if I want to take this hooker role seriously, I've got to, you know, look at the next man up, but yeah, no, like if Matthew can do the same, like I feel like just getting all the hookers good. No, I reckon. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
Ugh.
I know how to make
I
a
think
good
the
hooker.
Knights would be closer to the 8 than what they are
What are they
this
like?
season.
They're a 10th, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, they're
I have like the
like
magnetic
aiming up
fridge
at them.
ladder, and I have it like organized for the SRL's ladder rather than the NRL. So I just look to my left. I'm like, oh, they're 10th.
That's how you know this man takes this seriously.
I'm a captain who's won a lot. Of course, I take this seriously.
No, of course, mate. And I mean,
Hey,
I want a
saying
ring
that,
under you, bro. I understand. I
that
understand.
bottom end of the table is very close. You know, you got like
Yeah.
ninth to 13th is all on the same amount of points.
They're all on 6, aren't they?
Seventh and 8th are 1 point ahead. And if you
Ooh.
want to go with Manly Seagulls only, 2 points ahead of those.
Technically, they should be 4 points ahead, but they got 2 points stripped off them.
Yeah.
Definitely a
no,
skill
no.
issue on Ethan's part.
Still very close. That bottom 8's going to be really tough come end of season. Who are you going to have there?
Looking at them, I'd say Cowboys, Panthers are the 2 out of those that I could see sneaking in. Knights just under those 2, but like they're even though they're winning their games as well. Like some of them, even the games they're winning, they're kind of looking a bit. How are you going?
I still want to see the Parramatta Eel redemption arc where they sneak into the 8.
I just at least don't want them to get last.
Right? Like it's just we'll come to that in a later game, but yeah, it's just a very close ladder. Even at the
100%.
top. Even at the top.
You got Storm Bulldogs on 12, then you got Roosters, Raiders, Titans all on 10.
Could have been joined by Manly if they didn't get stripped of 2 points.
That's it. Fucking idiots.
Yeah, and
We'll move on.
been very different if Panthers have won against you.
Guess
Would've
what?
been
They
very
fucking
different.
didn't. They fucking
Yeah,
didn't.
but if it did, if we went down that timeline, we'd be having a very different conversation right now. But reality is reality, and
Reality
I'll
is
give you
it
that,
sucks
mate.
to
I'll give
suck,
you
and
that.
it's sad for you.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, we'll move on to
In
the
another
next.
life. Yeah.
All right, Katy
No
Perry.
worries.
Anyways,
Storm versus Cowboys.
yeah, Storm Cowboys 18-10 to the Storm. They just keep winning. Cowboys though just they lacked execution, to be honest. They're making some breaks, but then they just didn't really capitalize on it. While the Storm had few opportunities, but they capitalized on their opportunities. Bloody the big one, Chrissy Lord, the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ injured. He's going to be out for 3 days and then return. I think that's how it works, right? Um, Yeah, that was
Um,
that's as far as I'm going to go into a religious joke. um, but yeah, bloody
what a way to spend Easter.
one lock's injured and the other lock he's retired. Tarangi Haufetu has played his last game for the SRL due to deciding not to train. I honestly don't blame him for like going inactive when he did. He didn't want to catch these hands. He knew that once he come up against King Matty Harris, he knew he was going to get shown up. So he was like, "Yeah, nah, fuck that, I'm out. Sorry, boss, I'm hitting the road." But
Okay.
in his last
Okay.
in his last game, he had some stats. His run meters were about status quo for him. He made 101 meters from 18 runs. 24 tackles, 4 missed, but the big one, he made 7 tackle breaks. I believe that's the most in a game by a player. Um,
Yeah, impressive.
which is kind of funny because he had 7 tackle breaks but 1 line break. Normally those fends lead to a line break, so it's weird to see that it didn't happen. But he had 1 kick for 3 meters, which I believe led to a try. So he had to try assist. He had a really
Yeah,
solid game for
congrats.
his final game of the SRO, and I know bloody Will K is still crying right now that Fetu's gone. But it's like he's so sad and depressed about it that he decided that offing himself was the way out because he's decided to put himself at lock against me. You fucking idiot.
Really? Oh my god! I haven't looked at the team list for this week.
Yeah,
Um,
Will K, the tiny little man who can't kick, is going to try to punch above his weight, and it's not going to happen.
Oh nah, I want to see him to attempt to fend though.
He has 40 fend stat, 66 strength.
Oh man, Roosters are winning by 19 plus. Oh, hold on, I gotta go change my bet in that.
Don't jinx us, please. Because like you got to remember, he's the commissioner. He can race him as much as he wants.
He's got to write the script.
That's it. And it's like the underdog
Pay the
story.
refs,
They're coming first in the ladder, but only Will K can make themselves still the underdog.
Oh, what? Well, they lost to the Titans. I was waiting to lose that match.
Yeah, it was like 18-6. It was it was a bludger of a match, wasn't it?
Oh, it was it was 8-0 maybe, was it?
I think it was 18-6 maybe.
It could have been. It was a very slight, like, just a defensive fest that was, that game.
Even the Storm Cowboys game was a very defensive sort of game, except for like it wasn't so much good defense as in like poor execution at the end, as I was saying from the Cows. At first, the Cows were defending their line stoutly, but I think once Storm got a sniff, they took a few, and that's all they needed.
And
But
obviously that win puts them into first with the Bulldogs going down as well.
which we will cover very shortly.
No, I was making a
Yeah.
statement.
Oh, yeah,
more
of
about
course, of
Storm
course.
than making a statement more about Storm today. I didn't expect. I sort of expected them to linger around 4th or 5th position, so I didn't expect them to be near first. Especially when you look at the start of the season, you see
They lost to the
Bulldogs
bloody Sharks.
go up. I think they were in front by 2 points over everyone for a fair few while.
I think Bulldogs won
And
their
then-
first 5, and then they lost to Jimmy Ralph.
Yep.
We'll take
I mean, that was a
whatever
Jimmy
you
Ralph
want, right?
masterclass that got that win over the Bulldogs. Let's be real.
Oh, you're making me blush, man. You're making me.
I think you had like 2 tries.
It's all
There's
the
2
team.
tries.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's all
It
the
was you,
boys.
bro. It was you. Like I said this in the podcast when you
it was
did
the
it. It was
boys.
you, Brody. It was you.
Yeah, but it's not a one-man team, is it? Like the
That
boys.
night it was. That night it was. But yeah. Anyways, we've spoken enough of the drizzle. We should move on to the game of the round. We got the Panthers taking on the Roosters, 24-12. Roosters going up.
To
Um,
snuff our flame and stop the winning streak, especially against a few
hey,
teams
hey,
which
we were
we did
both on the
not think
same
we
winning
will win.
streak. We were both on the same winning streak. We'll 3 in a row each leading into the game, but only one could continue that streak. Um,
Yeah, look, I feel like we definitely did try, but I feel like the defense on your part was just
when you try
it was
your
just of a
best,
high
but you
standard
don't
that we just
succeed.
couldn't crack.
That's it.
Pardon?
Like I said, when you try your best, you don't succeed. um, but yeah, bloody
Mid smoke, but yeah, no man, like we definitely did try and find some chinks in the armor, and I feel like we did a couple times, but
you had a couple of barge over tries. That's
it
about
just
it.
wasn't enough. What was that?
You had a couple of barge over tries. Just a one-up run. We were expecting the back line playing. You just went first receiver and caught us napping. Chad Johnson
Yeah.
and Joe Turner Jr. going over. But one thing I want to mention from both sides, their bloody scramble defense. After a line break was made, just they got it done. But one thing, a big stat, which I can't remember a team missing fewer. This is actually low for both teams. The missed tackle department on both sides. Only 19 missed tackles from Penrith and only 12 from the Roosters. I don't remember a game where a team's missed fewer tackles. And even though you only missed 19, we still made 36 line breaks. You still made 23. So the line breaks were like clean line breaks, but then we had the cover. You guys had the cover. I want to give a mention to Bruce Buckley. Bloody
I was about to say, are we going to talk about Buckley yet? Because he played an outstanding game.
bro. See, the game was on the balance. It was only 18-12 at the time. And he made that set, bro. Like, he made like a 40, 50-meter run as a prop, got us in the field position, and then he backed up 2 tackles later from a nice, beautiful short ball from Harris. Put him straight through the line. Buckley's over, gets a well-deserved try. And yeah, like, soon as he scored that, I messaged the chat. I'm like, well-deserved. He made that set. And that ended up being the difference.
That's all it takes in
Yeah.
some games. Like, you just need that one star player to just shine in that 1 or 2 sets, and it has a massive impact on the final score. Like,
Well, that's it. He's fast becoming a star because he only debuted properly this season. He had a couple of games last season as a dev player for the Raiders when they had an injury, but he's got his first start
really?
up in the
Oh,
Roosters.
good on him,
Yeah.
then.
Yeah,
that's
he
awesome.
we picked him up in the dev draft. We had the first pick and we went for him, and it's paid off. And you know, I know we're not really supposed to announce anything, but you know, I've locked him up. He's going to be in the Chooks for as long as I can have him.
I'd say
Yeah.
Punchy played well too. 150 meters
Oh
in
yeah,
that game.
Punchy, he was great. Bloody Jimmy again, like he set up both the tries for bloody for the riff.
Penrith and-
Yeah, I couldn't think.
Yeah,
I couldn't
like,
think of the name.
I mean, that's it. I mean, you got to represent when you can, mate. You can't beat the roof, but no, like
We
that's
just
the
did,
best
we
thing
just
about.
did.
That's what I love about being hooker is just being the support for the team. Like I don't need to be the one going over. That's why I've got teammates. Like,
At least you're a
they're-
different type of hooker this time.
Yeah. Hey, you said you wouldn't bring that up. You said you wouldn't tell anyone. Nah, but no, it was definitely we tried. We definitely did try, and we found some opportunities, but just not as many as your team did, and yeah, I guess maybe next time we might be able to find some more and even the score out, but for this time I'll give you this. I'll give you this game.
Yeah. One last thing before we move on, I just want to give another special mention to both the centers for the Roosters. They defended their fucking asses off. I don't think there was any proper line break from your wingers on the kick returns. I hated Mellor because not me, Blair. I gave him the captaincy for the week, and he opted to swap the 2 centers to see how they would go, and damn, it worked. I acknowledged that, and I said I'm keeping that. I'm going to use that for my team list too, because we just stopped every kick return. Bloody Mendonca and the other one, couldn't make a break to save their lives, and I was very proud of the boys for that. And Dolan bloody got a nice meat pie from a beautiful ball from Blair Curtin, who he's showing that he's a 5'8". He's not a hooker. So yeah, we've got a 5'8" now. We're gonna have to look for a hooker for next season. Anyways, let's move on.
Something more interesting just before you keep going. Sonny Sharp for Panthers, 40 minutes, 4 line breaks. He was 1 line break behind Cody Mansour at fullback.
Yeah, we kept Cody really quiet, which was nice to see. And like Raikkonen, he had a pretty solid game at the back. He had his first 80-minute game at the back in a few weeks, and he got the job done.
Got the job. You could say that again.
That's it.
227 meters.
And a try, I think. Yeah.
A try and 8 line breaks.
Yeah, that's a good day in the office for him. But yeah, we'll move on to the next game. We got the Raiders taking on the Broncos. Raiders going over 28-18. It was similar to the Storm Cowboys game where there was a lot of good attacking footy, just lacked the final touch. Like I remember the Broncos, they started on fire, like just making breaks at will. But then, as soon as they got into the attacking zone, they're just like, oh, he's an intercept, he's a knock on. Forward pass, doing their best Tim James impression. But then the Raiders really, they when they got the chance, they struck. Luke Thompson bloody had a bloody game to remember. I think it's 2 tries, assist, a 40-20. He was him that game.
Man of the match for Mind.
Oh, 100%.
I remember watching that. I was like, he is playing an absolute blinder.
See, bloody, I know it's going to spoil the team of the week, but Kane was like, bloody, this was during the Roosters game, he's like, oh, Blair has to do better than that to take over Bontoft for bloody 5-8 of the week, and as soon as bloody Thompson did what he did, I'm like, oh, Kane's not going to be happy, but he's going to have to accept it. But yeah, just, Raiders, they showed good resolve on their line, especially, I think, good 10-15 minutes of that second half when the game was still in the balance. They just kept defending their line set after set after set. And like they were showing a defensive, like premiership level defense.
Yeah, Eli Barnes just consistent as ever.
I will say one thing. I forgot who said it in the commentary. I think it might have been Eddie Oliver. He said the Raiders are like unchanged from last season. Like they should be going good, but like they have like 6 rookies. Like they're definitely half their team's gone. But yeah, good on the Raiders. I'm looking forward to that final round clash against them. But yeah, we shall move on, I guess.
Unless you've got something else to say about it.
I don't. So yeah, we'll go on to probably your favourite game of the round, Luke. The Bulldogs versus the Titans. The Titans surprisingly going over 30 points to 6. You had Liam Ryan say, fuck 34 metres, let's just times that by like 6. He got 2 tries, 2 try assists. He was just fucking crazy.
He carried the entire Titans team.
You remind me of the Eels getting carried by a fullback.
Yeah, well, it was just more like every time he touched the ball, he was making meters. And it's also good, so compared to last week, having Mark Lee start at hooker rather than on the bench due to the injury. So obviously that made things a lot easier in that first half as well. I know. Like during that first half, we were really worried. Like I was in the VC with some other Titans players, and the amount of ball we had and just could not go over. I think it was 12-6 at the time, and it was just we had a lot of ball and could not break that line. We did eventually get to the 18.
It definitely wasn't 12-6 because yous are up like 24-0 at one stage.
Can't be.
It was like 24-0 at half time or something like that.
It might have been 12-0. I don't know. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
I'd say it would have been 12-0. Yeah, it was. I remember that
But
stage too, where you kind of
we
you're
did
on top,
ton
but
of
you
balls.
couldn't execute.
Every time the Bulldogs touched the ball, they'd make a mistake, and
You
we'd
say
have the
they, it was
ball
Moana.
attacking, could not go over, couldn't go over.
Yeah, I
Uh,
can already see that the difference between the missed tackles and the line breaks from the team is just like 16 missed tackles to 38 line breaks compared to the Bulldogs 33 missed tackles and 27 line breaks.
That's
Definitely a difference between the two. Like
And 11
there's
errors
some good
and
stats.
4
Yeah.
penalties. Yeah, 11 errors and 4 penalties. They were their own worst enemy, but it was really lucky that, like, because there were moments there that I thought, oh, they might come back, but they didn't. Certainly not one, because it wasn't 30, like, we weren't up by that much. Like, that 30 was very late into the game.
You were up, I
Um,
think it was 24-0, but then they got one back. It's 24-6, and now it's like at that point, it's like, oh crap, anything can happen. You guys would know that we were up 22-6, and you've got the chocolates over us.
that's
Now,
right, yeah. So,
I hate that I had to
um,
mention that, but it's the first thing that came to mind. Fucking sadly.
like, how amazing was McLucky's little grubber to himself to score?
You know,
Really?
you know how many times I've fucking sworn at Nehana for doing that when we verse each other in the footy? Like, you do that cheeky little grubber. Most of the time, the defense is like, fuck it. Who cares? He scores. And I'm like, this motherfucker, maybe I'm going to start trying now. And then I put 40 on him, and he says he's not versing me again. I hope you're watching this, Nehana, you fuck. um, anyways, but
I actually didn't touch the ball in the first half,
you had like,
which was even
I think you had 2 runs for the game, but you made 2 line breaks, didn't you?
2 line breaks. It was because so obviously I touched the ball 6 times, but I only had 2 runs, and both of those runs were line breaks.
Jesus. Oh yeah, because you would have touched the ball and passed kind of thing, eh?
Yeah, I was just catch pass. That's all I did. And then, but the 2 times I ran the ball, it was a line break. So
Not bad, not bad. And people wonder why I have Cody Og at 12 and not 11. 12s tend to get line breaks on the few touches they get. And, you know, with that 99 speed, fucking...
I get quality ball, not quantity ball.
That's it.
Mm.
Anyways, bloody... Moana is just fucking... The fuck's wrong with him? He's honestly... We give shit to Will Kane, we give shit to Jack Carr, but Moana's up there. And it's not even just his kicking, his ball playing. He makes so many errors. Like...
I've made this observation, like when the Bulldogs lost to Parramatta, was it Parramatta or Penrith? Who'd they lose to? Not us, other than us.
Penrith.
Penrith, yeah, Penrith. Oh, they got absolutely wiped by Penrith. I went back and looked at the stats of that game, and I was like, if Damien Moana plays a really bad game, the Bulldogs lose. They just cannot play.
That's it. I personally think maybe swapping their halves and just seeing if it changes something. Like, see how Butler goes at 6, see how Moana goes at 7, because Moana at 6 is not happening. Butler's good at 7, but you maybe bite the bullet and get... You can cop 2 decent halves over 1 good and 1 shit half, if you know what I mean. Like, that's what we got at the moment. Like, we got Curtin and Lewis, they ain't bloody blowing teams out the water, but they're just doing their job. They're not making errors. They get us to the position we need them to get, and then we start bloody putting on the pressure, and then the points come eventually. We're not there trying to score on every single play. It seems with the Bulldogs, with the start they had, and they had a lot of success at the start. They just think that the success is just going to come to them naturally and it's going to be easy. They're not willing to work for their points, and that's what's happening. Is they get to that spot and they're like, let's score right now, and they don't earn the right to do some good footy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but as opposed to the Titans who decided to, hey, let's do a trial team list against the Knight, and then followed by 3 extra losses, 2 extra losses just to say you probably shouldn't have done that.
That was Karma saying, "Motherfucker, this ain't being served cold. It's going to be served hot, hot, and hot again." But yeah, we should move on to the champ and the chump of the round, which it works out because they're both from the last game we just spoke about. We got the champ Liam Ryan bouncing back. I'm happy for the little guy. 253 run meters, 2 tries, 2 tries, 8 line breaks, 15 tackles. It was a fucking hell of a performance. There were some other good players like Luke Thompson and all that, but no one compared to Liam Ryan. Especially after his game last week where he had 34 meters for a fullback, which is just fucked.
It's the Liam Ryan redemption arc.
It was a redemption arc that lasted 1 week.
He took that personally. You can see he took that personally. You can see it in his statistics.
Who said he was the most watched player?
I'm pretty sure he did when he was saying, why did I only run 36 meters? Well, so
good on him.
Look in Lachlan. I just realised we're doing champ and chump. We're not talking about the Bulldogs starters anymore. But yeah, so he's our champ. Chump, we already spoke about it, kind of. Well, definitely. Moana continues his poor form. He had 3 more errors. Still can't kick. I'm trying to think of like a alliteration for Moana.
4 missed, like 3 errors. It ain't. Yeah, like if you have a few errors, but you make up for it with a couple line breaks or like
at least try assist for a bloody half is what you want.
Yeah. Like even I had a bit of a shocking forward pass, but like I set up a couple tries to try and make up for it.
If your try assist / tries outweigh your errors, you cop it. But if your errors are outweighing everything else by like tenfold, it's like you got to change something.
Unfortunately, yeah, like you hate to say it, but unfortunately, it's just what the stats don't lie. Stats don't lie.
That's it.
I probably should have mentioned actually that Lachlan won in that match. That first half, he was destructive. I think he made 4 line breaks in that first half.
We're talking about Lachlan Martin,
trying to put the pressure on early then,
yeah. And obviously, 4 line breaks or tackle breaks in that first half.
Well done. He's making a home at lock.
Yeah, well, that's what we've been trying to do.
That's it. Well, good stuff.
I think if it failed again this week, you might have ended up seeing Lee back in lock as we were winning. We weren't winning pretty, but we were winning.
Well, that's it. Anyways, we'll move on to the team of the week, which some of it was pretty tough for me to decide, but a lot of it was pretty easy.
All right, how many Roosters players?
Give me a sec. Only 3.
Only 3?
Yeah. That's a fucking surprise. I'm surprised at myself.
I was half 6.
Anyway, so we got Chaz Dingo at fullback. I'm joking. It's Liam Ryan. We got Ben O'Donnell, Jacob Morrison on the wings. We have Justin Dolan and Mark Iron in the centres. Luke Thompson and Maverick Keller in the halves. Hayden Davis, Bruce Buckley at prop. Got Kieran Wells at 9. Our back row is Chad Johnson and Creed Alex Chapman. 13 was Tarangi Halfetu. On our bench, we have Lachlan Martin, Cruz Bontoff, Corey Bell, and myself. Any arguments there?
For once, I actually agree with your name being there, Addy.
Fuck you.
You played a good game.
I've been playing fucking good footy all season.
Yeah, I'm just saying. For once, I'm happy for you though because you played a great game against Penrith.
Yeah, I hate to say it too, but when I couldn't even hold you up over that long.
Oh yeah, it was you that I went over the top of, wasn't it?
It was. It really was.
Fuck yes.
I hate to say it.
I didn't even know.
Yes, now you have bragging rights, but look, at least I wasn't the only one. I'll say that, but still, I just knew we were in for a hard night. As soon as I seen you on top of me, I'm like, oh no.
It's not the
It's
first
gonna be
time,
a
am
long
I
night.
right?
Hey, you said you wouldn't
Whoa!
tell anyone.
Oh, hold up. It was a UFC fight. It was MMA. I swear to fuck.
Alright, if that's what you want to keep telling people, Matt, then sure. We had socks on, so
Socks on doesn't count.
doesn't count. We had socks on, right?
Anyways,
Nah.
we'll move on to the power.
Yeah. So what's next?
Oh, we got power rankings. So I've gone Storm
Yeah.
first, Roosters second, Bulldogs third, Raiders fourth, Manly fifth, Titans sixth, Warriors seventh, Sharks eight, Panthers 9, Knights 10, Cowboys 11, Grubs 12, Broncos 13, and the Eels 14.
So Gold Coast beat first place, and they land sixth.
Because it's not just one round we base it off, and you beat a Bulldogs team that was playing like garb. And you can't really. You've had one win in the last 4 weeks. You got Roosters and Storm who have won all 4 of their last 4 games. You got the Bulldogs who, although haven't been the greatest the last few games, is still the benchmark. The Raiders have been playing good footy. Manly have won 4 of the last 5, I believe.
Yeah, no, well, that's Manly, yeah.
But,
Right.
like, you deserve to be higher, but because of the amount of teams who are playing better footy at the moment, one game can't get you. Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, yeah, not that bad.
Oh, there we go.
Where'd the Sharks
Oh,
land in
accept
the list there?
What was that?
Where'd the Sharks land in that?
8th.
Yeah.
I could make an
no.
argument to drop them, but they at least had a draw.
Yeah, they had a draw. Oh, just, as I said last week, hot and cold. Hot and cold.
That's it. Well, we'll go on to the following round. We got round 9. First game up, we got the Gold Coast Titans playing the Cronulla Sharks. Looking at the Titans side, I can't see any difference. You've gone with the same 1 to 17, have you?
Don't ruin a thing that's already winning, right?
That's it.
Oh, Nate Cute.
Oh yeah,
out.
Pute's out, and you got
So
Manifego.
Yep.
I'll probably
Manaya.
butcher that, but yeah.
That's why I was like, Manaya.
No, I'm stubborn. I want to give it a go at least. Cronulla, they look like they haven't changed anything, except I think they swapped their centers. I can't be too sure.
Yeah.
Then bloody looks like a good squad. Like the thing is Cronulla looks like a good squad. They just don't play like one.
What do you think that issue is?
Skill issue.
I think previously you said maybe NBT could swap from fullback to somewhere else.
I would say no now because he actually played a good game. So you give him benefit of the doubt for another week. I reckon maybe swap the wingers, see if it bloody unlocks them. Because sometimes like a winger can be shocking on the left and you throw them on the right and all of a sudden they're a gun. So maybe just swap them, give him a go. Like that happened with Weston. Like we had him on the right side for the longest time and he just wasn't really doing it. So we swapped him to the left and then it opened up both Ben O'Donnell on the right plus Weston on the left. On the left. Bloody... And that worked out because it got them both Origin selections. Too bad Ben. I don't think Ben O'Donnell played a game, did he? Or did he play game 3? I can't remember. But yeah, in terms of this game, Titans 9 to 18. It's hard to go against this after beating the Dogs and Cronulla. And they went to a draw with the bloody Warriors, but they've lost a bunch of games previously to that. I think 2 or 3 in a row before that. So just... I'm gonna have to tip the Titans. What about you, Jimmy? Who are you gonna tip in that game?
Yeah, with what you've just previously said, yeah, I'd reckon. Look, I wouldn't want to jinx it though. I reckon it might be close. Because with the last game, they did draw. I guess they have lost a few games beforehand, but this might be the come up. So I wouldn't want to say it's a blowout in the park. Like it's not a blow in the park, but no, I reckon. Like
Sharks would know
one to
about a bit of blow at
one
the
to
park,
eight
wouldn't they?
Titans. I'll give it to the Titans, but I don't think it'll be a blowout. Yeah, I don't think it'll be a blowout.
Did you like that joke, Luke?
What was that? What was that?
I said Sharks would know a bit about blow at the park, wouldn't they? They love their drugs. Oh,
Just a little bit.
what about you, Luke? What's your tip? We're gonna move on from drugs. Drugs are bad, kids. Drugs are bad.
Never.
You know what? Screw it. You went 1 to 8. You went 9 to 18. I'll go 19 plus for Titans.
You a
You
confident
reckon? You're
man.
confident. You're confident.
Oh, look, I go into every game very confident. Whether it works out or not is a very different story.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
in the
Mentality.
public, I am the most confident motherfucker. I'll be egotistical. I'll be a cunt. But in reality, I'm nervous for every single game, and I understand that like any game you can lose, any game you can win. So,
That's right, and it seems to be that way this season. If you haven't noticed,
Yeah.
we spoke about the ladder, how close that is. So, but still, I'll go into it like. Of course, I'd be nervous. We really got to. There's I think the next at least 3 games that they're like must wins for us for top 4.
Ours are must wins to get
This one being one that we think we can win comfortably. So I'm happy to follow that lead and say 19 plus.
There you go. Anyways, our next game, we got the Grubs playing the Raiders. 2 victims of Manly in grand finals, I must say. The Grubs, the only change they have made has been a forced one with James Anderson getting his first start at 9 because Matt Galaxy he's on the bench. He's far away, if I do say so myself. That's a fucking bad joke.
You got a giggle out of me, mate. You got a giggle out of me.
All right, it's a win. But yeah, everything else seems the same. I still think Malachi Booth, Velvet Thunder, should be the fullback.
Kevin Dixon last season at fullback was playing really good footy.
Yeah, he played really good footy for the 50 minutes a game he would play because he'd get injured every game. Really good footy.
That he was made of glass.
Yeah, what is the term for gaming? Glass cannon.
Yeah, glass cannon.
Glass cannon, yeah.
But yeah, bloody.
The Raiders, by the looks of what I'm reading.
Yeah, the Raiders look 1 to 17.
Yeah, I would have to give it to the Raiders just from their performance previously, and as you said, like even with the rookies, they're still holding themselves out like they did last year. So
yeah, I'm gonna go Raiders. Raiders 19 plus.
19
I should
plus,
probably
yeah.
go with what I did on my tips, but I forgot what I did. So
So I'm gonna be realistic, and I reckon one to nine.
what about you, Lukey?
I'm actually going to follow Jimmy there. Well, it depends. How many mistakes is Tim James going to make?
Is it Tim James playing or Tim Brady?
Tim Brady. How many mistakes are you going to make? And that if you could tell me that with the crystal ball, then I'll tell you what the score will be.
I think it's crazy that they're allowed to have a quarterback instead of a hooker.
I think Raiders are just a great team. 19 plus just makes sense in my head. In my heart, I'm going to say probably 1 to 8, just because of previous connection to South Sydney.
My heart says Raiders 50 plus, but my head says like 19 plus. All right, we'll move on to. Now, I'm not being biased when I say this, but game of the round. We got the
Game of the round.
We got the Sydney Roosters versus the Melbourne Storm. Winner, if Storm win, they basically take first spot regardless, unless Bulldogs flog Manly. But if we win, and Bulldogs lose, we're in first place. So little results got to go our way. but we hold our destiny in our own hand, at least the first half of it. In terms of changes, nothing really changed for us. We just swapped our bench props because I like Robson on that left prop role. Everything else is the same for us. Don't really change too much of what's working. With Storm, the big one, we got Fetu out, so we got Will K covering at lock. We got Trey Bonsakahu jumping in at 6 for Will, and we have Declan Connell making his SRL debut off the bench. They still look like a very strong side, which is what I've been trying to tell Will, and I was telling him this to convince him to do a bet with me, which is always fun to have a little bit of added sauce to that burger that is an SRL game. I'll let you in on the bet. If Will wins, I have to state on my podcast that he's the best lock and he's much better than me. That's going to kill me to say if that happens, and I'm praying it doesn't.
I mean, if it's the truth, it's the truth.
It ain't the fucking truth, regardless. I don't like to lie.
You're herding over facts, brother.
So what are the exact words?
Give me a sec.
You just got to say Will K is the best, better lock than me.
All right, I'll go to our messages quickly. Where the fuck is he? There he is.
Oh, that must stink. Do you know what? Just for that, I reckon you'll get the leg up on them in the first half, but I reckon they'll buckle down, and I reckon they'll win 1-8. It will be close, but I reckon they're gonna take it.
Go fuck yourself. Okay, I found it. So,
okay, hold on. Let's hear it. So what is it?
So, I have to acknowledge that he's the better lock than me. I have a bit of a nicer prize, if I do say so. So if we win, he has to acknowledge that I am the best lock in the SRL. He doesn't have a podcast, so he's just gonna. Anytime my name's mentioned in the footy, like in the SRL broadcast, he has to make that fucking note.
The best lock in the game.
Post it to league content.
Overall, I'd like to hear it in the games, to be honest. And then the other bit is I want a longer scoring animation. my
You just want to listen. You just want to listen to what's that bit?
Falling in reverse.
You just want to listen to their songs mid game.
Yes, and I also want to see myself pumping more South players.
And so what? And you have to say Will K is a better lock than me. Jesus.
Hey, to be fair, I had the bloody short end of the stick last season. I had to fucking sing the Storm theme song, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know what the Storm theme song is. Could you tell me? Can you sing it?
Fuck right off.
He's got some history with it. What do you mean?
Fuck you, fucker, you son of a bitch. No.
I don't really know what the Storm song is. I actually... Out of all the team songs, I only know 2.
If you go to Into the Mines on a random episode last season, I can't remember which, you'll see it.
Okay.
I'm sure Riley Murray, if he's watching this, will tag me and post it again in the SRL chat. Let's be real. Funny enough, in the early negotiations of what we were going to bet, Will wanted it to be music related again. He was like, "Oh, do you play any instruments?" I'm just like, "I have a guitar, but knowing how to play it's a different story." And he's like, "I want you to attempt the Thunderstruck opening." I'm just like, "It's an acoustic guitar, but I can give it a shot." And he's like, "Nah, do this instead." So he let me off the hook at least. But yeah,
I'm sure in this conversation, someone could clip it to make it sound like you've already said that Will K is a better lock than you.
This is the thing, right? If somebody is to do that, I will enter them. That person is an asshole. You want to know what I do to assholes? I lick them.
Hey,
That's fine.
And that is the last train wreck joke I'm going to make on this podcast.
I need to know your fetish.
This is a fetish. That's a normal thing. Come on now.
Right, different strokes for different folks.
All right, no more train wreck fucking jokes. All right, fuck.
Anyway, I'm going to go the other way from Jimmy there, and I'm going to say Roosters 1-8. That's just because I want the Storm.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't want the Storm to win.
Yeah.
Unbiased me says Roosters 1-8. All Storm 1-8. I reckon it's going to be a close game. Biased me says
It's going to be crazy.
fuck them.
This one is one of those ones that depends on the sim. That's how it feels anyway.
All I'm saying is if Will Kay, the guy with 40 fend and 66 strength, gets more fens than me and plays a better game than me at lock, I'm calling it bullshit, biased, and Will's resimmed until that happened.
Scripted, paid the refs.
He is the ref. He's the ref, the commish, and their captain. Every fucking thing that could be against us is against us, except for the fact Fetu's not playing. But he's decided, fuck, he's going to put himself there, and he has time. I think he's recorded it already today, or he hasn't because he's going to go through 10 games until he's going good.
Before the game even
I'm not a sore loser.
Man,
Fuck off,
how
cunt.
is that possible? Bro,
You know how it's possible?
Next week, bro, he's gonna be eating you up for dinner, bro.
Listen, dick nuts.
And do you know what?
Fuck off.
I'm gonna admit it. I can't wait.
Hey, Jimmy, I know where you live.
And do you know what, buddy? That's fine, mate. But at least Will Kay's gonna have the bragging rights over you. And at least he's gonna be the best lock in the game. And do you know what? I'm happy with that.
You know what? Even if I have to say that, it doesn't make it true. I've won the most premierships at lock. Actually, I've won the equal most premierships at lock because Chris Lord played lock in the grand final in season 2. Son of a bitch. I've won the equal most premiership at lock. So yeah, fuck you, Will.
And what's that gonna amount to when you lose next week, though?
Oh no, I lost round 9 of season 7. Oh, that takes away all of my accomplishments and accolades of my SRL career. Fuck me.
Who's gonna be the best lock in the game? We'll see on D-Day.
Even if I have to say he's the best lock, I'm gonna follow up by saying I'm the best captain. And just so you know, I dropped a toothpick on my table like a mic drop. Just thought I should mention that because it looks stupid.
Yeah, and I bet you picked up that toothpick and did it again just to explain that you did that.
No.
Let's move on.
Yeah,
we've spoken about this game for long enough.
I don't even think we're talking about the game. We're talking about the captain.
I'm excited.
It's a good fucking game. Yeah.
Yeah, D-Day.
Yeah,
it's going to be Matt's D-Day.
Matty's right. That is the game of the round, by far.
Yeah.
After that, we got the Auckland Warriors versus the Penrith Panthers. I don't think there's much change to the Warriors side, except I think they're starting bloody Ango again. I believe they benched him.
And Snickers at 8.
Yeah, they did that swap. But yeah, I think Ango was off the bench last week, which was a surprise. It worked, but sort of. Was it Strange? Did Strange get injured, or is he just benched?
I assume he's just benched. I don't know.
Interesting.
Injury. Let's have a look at the injury. Doesn't look like it.
That's a strange decision to put him on the bench. I just scared my cats with that. Sorry, buddies. They look like a good squad. The Panthers, looking at them, they haven't really made any changes. Looking at it.
Yeah, well, look, I feel like if coming off the back of versing you guys, hopefully we can keep that same mentality. And with how much of a titan your team is, I feel like if we just keep that up, I feel like we should be able to benefit from.
We're the Roosters, not the Titans.
But no, we'll just have to wait and see.
Out of the two teams, I think the Warriors win, but I'm still gonna tip like Penrith 1-8. That's just because I want you to win.
No, I mean,
That,
yeah,
I'd
it's
do the same because I think the Warriors will win, but I don't think it'll be by a lot anyway. But for this sake, because it's the Warriors, let's go Panthers 1-8. And I think if I go look at my bets, I reckon that's what I've picked.
So,
Panthers 1-8.
funny enough, like looking at both sides, right? They have you guys in the backs. The 1-5 for the Warriors shits on Panthers, but in the forward pack, it's the opposite. You got Lennox, you
really.
got Chad Johnston, Callum Irwin, Bailey Wilson, Jimmy Ralph. Don't get me wrong, they don't have no slouches, but then you have Sione Manaus and David Tiawa who are backs playing in the forward, so it's a weaker forward pack. Then you got tiny little bloody muffins that are Sneeko Bro. Yeah, I called him a fucking muffin.
Chocolate chip or blueberry? Who knows? But
So yeah,
I'll go blueberry.
I've just went over to my weekly bets. I've actually tipped Panthers 9-18.
Well, there you go.
you
Man.
reckon? I mean,
I don't trust me with my bets, man. I just come along and just tap stuff and call it a day.
if it
Um,
works, it works.
I don't
I'm
even
so close
screenshot
to
them,
it
so
up
it gets to like halfway through a round. I'm like, I don't even know what I bet.
there. I screenshot them all the time. Like I have to know during the game.
It's always 50-50. You either hit it or you don't.
Yeah, it's the Schrodinger's betting cat.
yeah.
So we've all given our tips on that game, or
Oh,
Yep.
I reckon 20 plus. You know, I've got to keep it. I've got to keep it for the boys. You know, we're gonna smash them out of the park. Who knows if it will happen, but
yeah,
I'm hopeful. You know, I'm hopeful.
the current boys. Anyways, North Queensland and Newcastle. Bloody Chris Lord's on the bench, but who better to replace him than Jordan Williams? It's bullshit that your backup lock is a out and out lock.
Cowboys has good depth, so
In the forwards, in the lock department, yes. Not so much the forwards. They kind of had to work some stuff around to get the forwards rolling. I don't know what it is with the Cowboys. They got the squad on paper, but they're just not really performing. It might be the Lee Simon effect. Once he gets into a team, you kind of just. Like, look at us. We were going pretty good, and then he came into the squad, and we lost the grand final with him there. I'm fucking with you, Lee. If you're watching, just so you know, please don't cry.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Knights. That looks totally unchanged as well. By the looks,
you
unchanged.
confident going into this round, Driscoll?
Hey,
You confident going into this round?
he doesn't play for the Knights or the Cowboys. We have.
Oh, did I get it? Sorry, bro. Knights and Titans always stuff me up. I swear. I don't know why.
wow.
For a second I thought you were talking about Titans.
We covered the Titans the first game for this round.
Ah, my bad. It's
I
late.
spoke about it. I spoke about it at length.
yeah, no, it's late. All right, it's late.
It's the spicy
finished
cabbage.
work.
It's the spicy
It's been a
cabbage.
long day. It's been a long day.
From mind, I'm going to go North Queensland 9-18. Even with Chris Lord starting from the bench, I still think North Queensland is still too strong for Newcastle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go one. I'm gonna go 1-8 Knights.
Really? No, I might have to go with Driscoll here. I think the Cowboys got this.
Fair
Look,
enough.
I don't know by what score. I might have to go mid range, but yeah, I don't. Yeah. With what I've heard about the Cowboys, I'm pretty confident in them.
All right. We'll move on to the Broncos versus the Eels, which honestly I think it's got two options here. It's going to be a high-scoring game with a very sheer lack of defense, or it's just going to be error-riddled. Like it's going to be an error-riddled mess because both teams are guilty of that. I'm going to lean towards the high scoring because both teams don't really think defense is part of the game. Broncos look 1-17, I believe. Yeah.
AMAC from
AMAC's been on the bench for the last 3-4 weeks.
Has he?
Yeah, he's been doing the bench impact role, which is really fucking worked. He scored like
Mm.
5 tries in the last 3 weeks off the bench.
Yes, he did too. Yes, I remember that. I remember writing in the chat. Um, Look, Brisbane are struggling for me.
I always like to
They
see
might
Brisbane
be
lose. So,
last.
like, if it's not Grubs getting last, I want it to be Broncos.
I'm going to say Parramatta's winning this match, and I hope they do what they did to us, to the Broncos, and just slap 40 points on them on the way out.
I hope so too. I'm still gonna go Para 1-8, but I hope it's 19 plus.
Yeah. Oh, look. I've got in my weekly bets 9 to 18 Parramatta.
I
Um,
think I more reasonably tipped Broncos like 9-18 or something like that, but like I still want Para to win.
I just don't want Parra to come. Actually, no. I want them to win the rest of the games and finish in the 8. But um, that's probably
I want them to get in the 8, and like if a team's to win it besides the Roosters, I want it to be them just to give that awkward scenario for Will Kay and Sonny Tyre, where it's like, oh, we're getting rid of the team that just won the comp. Fuck.
that's it. Would be a big kick in the face.
Because like, what do you do
If I
then? If
if I
they
look
won the
at the
comp, they don't
bottom,
even get a chance to bloody back it up.
yeah, no. And looking at the betting trends right now, the most favoured is Eels 9 to 18
Damn.
with a massive 44 votes. Um, Cowboys and Knights, it's the Knights 1 to 8 is the favourite. Warriors 9 to 18 is the favourite. Roosters 1 to 8 is the favourite. So
Hey.
there you go, Matty. Raiders 9 to 18 is favourite. Titans 9 to 18 is favourite over the Sharks. So that's all the betting trends thus far while we're recording.
Not bad, not bad. Anyways, yous have done your Parramatta Brisbane tips. I know you did, Luke. What'd you do again, Jimmy?
Look, I've never liked the Eels. It's in my roof blood, so I'm gonna have to give it to the Broncos. That's, you know what? Probably not by a big margin. Probably just 1 to 8, but at least the Eels are winning. I'm happy.
That's it, that's it. And to the final game of the round, we got the Manly Warringah Seagulls versus the Bulldogs. Which, if you looked at this after like what round 5, you'd be like, oh, Bulldogs all easily. But considering the form line for the two clubs at the moment, Manly winning 4 of their last 5, or we could just go shorter. They've won their last 3 straight. Bulldogs have lost 2 of their last 3. We know where it's going wrong for the Bulldogs. It's Damien Moana. The captain's got to step up, mate. Everywhere else, I'm surprised they've got Thomas Wallace starting at 9 and Hellier at 13.
I didn't even realise that.
Yeah, I only just seen that right now. I was like, oh fuck, okay. And then they got Kobe Johnston at 8, and they've given the winger John Boy Maava the 11 role. I've had this discussion with you earlier, Luke, and I'm going to say it right now. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you don't want your outside backs, the ones that can play second row, playing at 11. I get you want them in more space, but they're such a liability in defence from the opposition fullback. Like,
Yep.
I'm sorry, but KCK might have a field day. Like, if he gets that outside inside ball, bloody Mayava's
This the
stepped,
opposition.
and KCK's gone making 30, 40 metres.
Yeah,
I expect Maxwell to get over 20 tackles this game.
that's insane.
That's my
Yeah.
prediction. And so I have Cody there at 12 because, like I said, 12s get little ball, but it's normally quality ball. But in terms of
normally when the
defense,
11s get it, it's just a hit up.
yeah, like 11s get the hit ups, they get a bit of space from it. But what you need your 11 for defense. You need them with high defensive stats, or at least a big body that can slow someone down. Your 12, you can kind of get away with putting a weaker player because a lot of the time they're in front of the player, directly in front. It's normally the 11 just taking a hit up. So, yeah, the 11's going to make their meters like they always do, but he's there making the tackle still.
Yeah.
But putting the little guy at 11 is just a liability I'm not willing to do, which I explained this to Blair and Cody as well. Because I did the test. So, I know what I'm talking about. Hey, I could be wrong. Fucking my Harvard could get a lucky sim, but from my experiences, don't put a little guy at 11. It didn't
Well,
work. It didn't work for bloody the Eels. They put Joey June at 11, and Creed scored a hat trick.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of Joey June, they played a fantastic game this week as well. That we should have probably mentioned.
Offensively, see the thing is, offensively they're going to be good, but defensively, not so much.
So it's not.
Back to the Eels. Actually, they got Joey June on the wing. They've actually decided to move Joey out of center or out of second row. Sorry, which I reckon is because of that defensive frailty, which I just mentioned.
It becomes a liability. All
That's
good
it.
and well if you can attack really well, but if you can't defend,
If you make
the
150,
the team that scores more points wins, and if you've got a liability that's going to get stepped every time they ran it, probably not the best idea.
like if you make 200 run meters and score a try, but you've conceded 3 tries, I don't like it. That's a bad performance in my eyes. But yeah, I want Manly to win this one. I really do. It's still hard to tip against the Bulldogs because we know what they can do.
But their defense is outstanding.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go Bulldogs 9 to 18.
So.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bulldogs 9 to 18. I think just cream rises to the top. Maybe if they bench mine at half time, they can really get going. But don't count Manly out because no one's thought they were going to win any games, let alone 5. They actually have the same record as our teams. Like me and you, we're 5-3. They're 5-3 too. They have less points because of reasons, but they're playing good footy. They're punching well above their weight. Well done to them. Well done to Kane and Ethan for what they're doing over there.
Yeah, from what you've been telling me with their rookies, it's definitely.
No, it's not only that they've had rookies go inactive too, so they've had to get more rookies. So like looking at the 1 to 17 right now, currently playing, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rookies playing currently. One of them's playing his first game this week because another rookie just retired or went inactive. The other rookie debuted last week because the rookie went inactive. Their current center, their number 3, he debuted at like round 2 or 3 because another rookie went inactive. So they've technically had about 12 or 13 rookies this season.
Hey,
They're still winning. That's the crazy part. So, like I said, well done.
Yeah, I can second that.
Like you know who I feel bad for though? Ethan Goodwin, a winger's playing bloody $12 odds to score a try. No, not just first try scorer, like anytime try scorer. His odds are crazy. He's yet to get a meat pie this season. So
I'd probably just start taking that bet.
hey, it's worth the shot considering wingers do like to score. But yeah, bloody should be a good game.
I'll be interested to see Hellier at lock.
Well, that's the thing. He plays lock every week. So here's the thing, and I realised this well after the fact. I should have made the argument when we were talking about the best locks of the season. Thomas Wallace, although he's been pretty good at lock, he hasn't played more than 40 minutes there. I just remember that like they do that swap at halftime every game. I can't think of a game they haven't done it where they will swap Wallace to 9. They'll swap Wallace to 9 and Hellier to 13. So it's going to make Wallace's stats look a lot better than they should be because he's got 40 minutes at hooker where they get run meters from just picking the ball up from dummy half.
Taking one step and passing.
They take one step, so they get a meter every time there's a play the ball.
Yeah.
So like his stats are skewed from that. But don't get me wrong, I'm not taking nothing away from him. He's been one of the best players this season. I just wouldn't call him the best
Yeah.
lock because he hasn't been there the whole time.
I would still, yeah, Bulldogs 9 to 18. I'll have to follow suit with you. I hate Manly. I don't ever want Manly to win. So,
Well, fuck you.
go Bulldogs.
Well, I'm kind of backing them though. I reckon they can keep this streak going. I'll hold on to it for as long as they can, but nah, I gotta Eagles 1-8.
Tipping the old boys, are you?
Yeah, gotta give KCK a little bit of hope, but a little bit of confidence, but who knows?
At least,
look,
at least he plays better in bloody SRL than he does on Siege, right?
Oh,
Realistically,
no.
in terms of ladder positions, if Titans win and Manly win, we'd come up to be equal with Bulldogs. So that's a good thing if they win.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
And if you two win and we win, Roosters are first, you know?
that's right.
So I'll be pretty
But
happy with that.
Who wants that to happen?
I think we know who wants that to happen. Fucking me, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe that is all that's on the agenda tonight, eh? We've covered just about everything there is to cover. Thank you so much, Luke, for co-hosting again for me while Kane has his hiatus. Thank you, Jimmy, for appearing for the first time. It was very good to have you. Love to have you on again whenever you're free.
Lovely to be here. Just maybe the timing could be a little bit better just after a long day at work. I would love to be a little more energetic in the conversation. I'll definitely
Hey,
do my research
I
for the
just finished
future.
work too. Okay.
Yeah. Nah, but it was definitely nice being on the potty with both of you boys. Like, no, I appreciate the invitation. It's an honor to be on here with you, both of you. I really do love this little podcast that you guys got going on.
Yeah,
This
says the guy who
talk.
hasn't actually watched it.
Look, mate. Maybe I just need a little like foot in the door, you know. And I reckon after tonight, both of you boys have definitely piqued my interest.
Giggity. Anyways, take care, boys. Thank you, everybody else, for watching. We'll see you again sometime next week. We don't know if it's out the same time. It's different now. Anyways, take care. Bye bye. Fuck South. Go the Roosters.